So hi, the title of this video is Great Trainer, Bad Racer. And this happens all the time with athletes. They get to the point where they're flying in training and they're building, they're training up, they're doing consistent training and they're feeling relaxed in training. But once they come to the competition, they flop. Their performances are well below par. And this causes a huge amount of frustration for most athletes, because most athletes come across this and say, well, I've been training hard. The times show that I should be running faster in training. But then I come to competition and I'm not at my best. I just don't run at my best. And the reason is that if you are one of these athletes that trains well but competes badly, then you are doing something that's hampering yourself on the day of the race. And it's mostly all mental. Because you know how to warm up, you know what warm up you should be doing. This is very frustrating because you might even have training partners that you seem to be going quicker in training, and then you come to the race and they beat you. So what are you doing? You have to ask yourself, what are you doing during on the day of the competition? What is your thought pattern leading up to the race? Because there should be no thought. You should be centered and replicating what you do in training in competing. The problem is the pressure you put on yourself, and the event and the people watching changes things for you. And you have to ask, what part of that inside of you, what are you doing and thinking and feeling on the day of the race, in the warm-up, on the start line, that's hampering you? Because that's all it is. You have everything in your locker to do it. You have everything in your locker. You've got consistent training behind you. But you've got to find that thing that's handicapping you on that day of the race and before that race. So what do you do about it? It's simple. When you're actually in training, there's no pressure on you. You know you've got repetitions to correct things. So if you get something wrong or you don't go quick enough in one rep, you can quicken it up. You can go quick in the other race, or you can correct things because there's multiple repetitions for you to try out and correct things. But on the day of the race, you have to nail it first time. And specifically, if you're a 100-meter, 200-meter runner, there's no time for mistakes. At least that's what your mind is saying. So you have to escape that mind thought, because we've got an ego thought inside of us. The ego is inside of us, that little voice that says, don't do this, or you can't do this, or this is important. This race is important. And it's basically the ego is there to keep us safe. It's the ego is that little voice that's inside us that to keep us safe. But when we're actually trying to better ourselves and grow and improve at something, it wants to keep us where we are. It wants to keep us in the same place we've always been, because outside, growing into competition is scary for them, scary for your ego. So you have to look at this voice inside of you saying, oh, this is an important race. Look at that fast person on the outside. That person's going to beat you. Oh, if you come last in this race, you're going to look stupid. Anything negative they've said, that's your ego and your mind going. So this is where self-awareness is important. And you have to look at that and say, so what? To those voices in your head. You have to be able to self-aware to identify those thoughts inside you and be in the here and now and say, so what to them. Take away its power. Take away that ego's power over you. Because you have everything physically to do the fast race. You have everything there. But it's all up there. It's all what the voice is doing that, because we know that if you allow that voice to get hold of you, that negativity to get hold of you, that will tighten you up and it will slow you down. Suck any kind of power out of your stride, and it'll suck the endurance out of your stride. And it will only leave you demotivated. Now, a lot of athletes don't see this, and a lot of athletes give up because of this. They see themselves doing all this training, and they do all this work in training, and then they come to competition, and time after time after time after again, they get a slow race. And because of this, they get confused, and they start to listen to that ego inside you saying, actually, you may not be able to do this anymore. You may not have it in you. And that thought gets inside you. You've got to stop that. That's really important to recognize that voice, because it's BS. You've got the consistent training behind you. You just have to replicate it in the competition. You have to notice that negativity. You've got to be self-aware. You've got to say, so what to that negativity. Take away its power. It's trying to keep you, if you recognize what it's trying to do, it's trying to keep you here, not trying to get you to improve. And you have to breathe and come into yourself. Mind-body connection. Mind-body connection will give you that timing the body needs to fly. That mind-body connection will give you that relaxation. Mind-body connection will keep you centered. That's all you have to do on the day of the race. And to replicate those times in training into racing, you have to notice what's handicapping you. And it's mainly that negativity and that voice in your head, the nerves getting hold of you. Stay centered, breathe. Notice your breathing, feel your body, be confident and say, no, I'm going to run bloody brilliantly today. I am going to run bloody brilliantly today. Not, I hope I run. I am going to run. So that's just an idea, just for all those athletes who find themselves training well but not racing well. This is the difference. This is what it is. Fitness is all there. It's all up there, and what that voice is trying to say to you. Get away from thought. Get in the here and now. Get confident. That's what I have today. Hope you like that video. Please like, please share, and I'll see you in the next video.